Good evening, folks, and welcome to the Six Figure Developer live stream, live coding, live Wednesday live stream, live a few more times.
It's a lot of live.
This is the Six Figure Developer channel. Mondays, we do the live streaming, live broadcast of the recording of the podcast, 6 p.m. Eastern. On Wednesdays, we do live coding of personal projects, and this Wednesday, we're going to continue working on a React project from our very own John Ash, a fitness tracker called LiftFitLog. Ash, you want to catch us up on where we left off and what we'll be doing?
Yeah, sure.
Pretty.
So, so let's start. I can kind of just explain a little bit. So basically, the premise, excuse me. Sorry, my throat's been bothering me. The premise behind this was I was sort of getting fed up with most of the fitness trackers out there, which will do great at tracking activities, but something like weightlifting, they don't do such a great job at. And so there are good weightlifting things out there, but I thought, why not give it sort of a stab for myself? And so basically the way I started out was looking at breaking down as many of the different activities as I could, and sort of like looking at what types I might be wanting to look at. And so I ultimately came up with 4 different types. Each type sort of looks at or has some different note or records that it cares about, and sort of came up with the idea of being able to create a fitness tracker that sort of didn't rely on having me to come up with all of the list of all types of activities that someone might want to account for, and instead just sort of you could create activities, but it would still give you the ability to track things in more detail than maybe the general fitness tracker. So anyways, that's sort of where this came from. I spent way too much time working on the CSS and other things, but for the most part we have sort of the basic elements for the first segment of this, which is just simply recording the actual entries for a given day and recording those days. So what we had gotten to was we have sort of abstracted all of the list of what might happen in a day, and we pull that into a file that will eventually become some sort of service, JavaScript service, and then we sort of built up the rest of the React to make sure that that's sort of like passing that in. So that's sort of where we got to, but we don't have any ability to add new entries, or we don't have any ability to add days. And so this sort of ended the limit of the HTML that I had built before, and so I wanted to basically say, okay, let's start tackling that next step of adding entries. So my thought was to be able to use sort of a modal. So we click on new entry, and this would allow us to kick off a whole new day, and that will give us a modal where we can sort of edit some of the things. Before we go into that, a couple other things to just sort of talk about that I've sort of done in the interim. So for one thing, this right now is being hosted at my GitHub pages, and so some fun stuff here. We have if we go to the GitHub, which I posted there's so deep down here in front ends and web and whatnot is the current code that we're working on. But under this GitHub workflows, we have a C build and deploy YAML that will anytime we check into master or do a pull request into master, it will go ahead and build the node or build the application, and then using Node.js, and then it will publish that onto the GitHub page, onto GitHub pages. So, yep.
So the
that's
DevOps
pretty cool.
could not be contained.
DevOps could not be contained. So, but what's cool about that is I can,
Surly bot.
you know, you can play around with what might
Nailed
be
it.
existing there.
Yeah,
So that's
you're only building for Node 14. I don't.
Can you put in the latest?
No, you have to have.
Yeah, for Speaker Meet UI, I think I'm building for 12 and 14. Just
Oh, gotcha.
whatever. But I do see we've got Blazer. Mr. Magoo is here. We've got Wesley is here. I'm sure Wesley is thinking to himself, why isn't he just using Xamarin? Maybe some auto mapper, something like that.
So another little it's been a little bit it's been a little while since we did Speaker Meet, but when we were doing it, I was trying to do a Docker Compose. And run things from basically, so if we look at this Docker Compose file, we're actually taking Node 14 and we're mounting the app itself as a volume. And this created some issues. In fact,
You apparently don't have file sharing turned on.
no, it's turned on. So there's some issues with when you're running Docker and WSL and mounting files into which causes extra performance degradation. And so what happens is we'll see that actually like building this and getting it to run is actually takes a pretty fair amount of time. And
I just thought that was a regular JavaScript thing.
No, this is an issue within WSL, and I also have to turn on, if I want this to like automatically build, and I have to turn on this environment to do polling, because it doesn't. And what's happening is, which we can kind of talk about while it builds, but basically there's a little bit of mounting inception, because the files are sitting inside of the NTFS file system that Windows hosts, right? But then WSL, which is where Docker is running, that's running inside of, so Windows has to mount that file system inside of WSL, but then WSL has to then remount from the NTFS system into Docker, which is also running, so that you get sort of like a double layer of mounting. And this is where that latency kind of comes from. So there's a workaround. Yeah, we still have not, it still hasn't finished what's going on. So I'm just gonna stop it, because this is, we don't need to actually do that. So I'm gonna go ahead, and what I've done is I have spun up Ubuntu and
Rewritten the kernel.
I rewrote the kernel.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And
he's
then-
building his own. It's fine.
Yeah, I built it brand new. No, all I did was I took inside of I created a /source, and then just cloned GitHub, but it's cloning it from within the WSL file system. So instead of this existing inside of the so we could go to cd/mount
Well, they can't.
/e.
Well, they can sort of see that if they
Oh,
look.
do you want me to?
If
Here,
they
can I
look
give?
through
Can I give you more? Oh yeah. Okay. Here. Why don't I change this?
Just make it higher, and then
Yes,
everything will be
that's what I'm
fine.
doing. Is it big enough? Because I can also make it bigger.
Yeah. You'd have to confirm with them, but I think it's big enough.
Okay.
What do you say, chat? Is that visible? Do we need to increase font size? Looks like we've got freaking Ward here as well. Welcome, everyone.
Freaking Ward.
Also, Wes is sus.
So So here, this mount/e is where CD.
This is a family-friendly show.
That this mount/e is where the E drive, which is the NTFS drive, it gets mounted inside of the WSL, and that's where normally I keep my source code. But because that creates a problem, we can go to.
Is this why your solid state drive died?
No,
Okay.
that was another issue, and we haven't figured that out yet. So we can go into basically the root of the WSL, and I created a folder called source, and then cloned the files down. And so the files, instead of existing in the NTFS, they're actually existing in WSL sort of natively.
Speaking of cloning.
Yeah. So what that allows us to do is you can open up basically you can open up Visual Studio Code, and there's like a little open this a remote window in WSL. So we're actually launching Visual Studio Code from WSL and then opening up files directly that are running in WSL. So it's pretty sweet.
So to fix the mounting of the mounted mount, you are mounting Visual Studio Code.
I'm just running it inside of. I'm not mounting it. I'm just sort of running it inside of WSL.
Sounded like you're mounting it on the WSL.
So anyways, what that allows us to do is when we do a Docker compose up, it actually goes pretty quickly. And let's see here.
So much virtualization.
Oh, that's been annoying, isn't it? Because this is in the way. Get out of my way. Of course, it will make a liar out of me.
So much faster.
Yeah, isn't it so much speedier?
So voila.
Oh, I think there's something wrong here. Yeah, I think okay. I think I know what the problem is.
I think it's an unmet peer dependency. Wait, are you doing TypeScript?
No. All right, come on.
A little late to the party there, John.
What's your point?
Well, you've forced all the surly bots to.
And still didn't land.
Nope.
All right, let's see here.
What version are you on?
When in doubt, let's just delete this.
Not the latest.
Obviously.
Yep.
Wes.
Let's do an NPM update.
-G.
No.
Do all the updates.
Just the project. Because it was complaining about FS event or something. I thought that was removed.
Yeah, maybe like last week.
Yeah.
Oh yeah. Okay. What?
Thought that was removed. Is incompatible with the module. Yeah, that's a Windows thing, I thought.
I mean, his computer can't figure out whether it's Windows or Linux right now, so it's very confused.
Yeah. Because I shouldn't have checked in that.
Delete it. Kill it. No, you check in your log files.
Well, yes,
Which
but I shouldn't have checked in anything built from, because I was
Windows.
running this right before we started.
So I know why they say to check in the log files, but they change like every 5 seconds. So really, it's just a conflict waiting to happen, and they're very annoying if you've got team members working in Windows and team members working in Linux and team members working in Mac. I hate the log files.
Front end.
Or
RMRF.
Yeah, just rimraff the node modules. No, not from inside. Just rimraff the whole node modules.
I don't know that I want to do that.
You do.
Oh, you definitely wanna do
You
that.
And then we can spend the next 5 minutes just waiting for them all to come down again.
Which is faster than spending the next 5 minutes waiting for them all to come down again just to realize that, oh, it didn't work.
It's good stuff. So, welcome, chat. This is Live Coding, live stream, live something Wednesday, where we work on personal projects and just harass each other endlessly.
Oh, so it actually. Wait.
I mean,
I
it's
think
doing
it actually
something.
was working. Let me do a Docker compose down here real quick.
This week we are working. Yeah, do Docker compose up dash build.
Yeah, I was just
and
going to say that. Yeah.
I don't need it.
So this week, Ash is driving. We're working on, and by we, I mean he is working on, and we're encouraging him, working on his LiftFitLog, a fitness tracker written in React. So if you want to join in, there is a GitHub repo if you want to share your words of encouragement in chat. We would certainly enjoy seeing those.
If you were to work with one of us, this may or may not be what the experience is like.
This is exactly what that experience is like.
We have all been working together for several years, so it's not like we've just met.
Okay, so this should now spin up.
And it hasn't yet ended in tears, so
Well, maybe on your end. Oh, everybody's
So-
all just clustered. Okay.
What is interesting, anyways? So it does actually come up a little bit faster. It takes a little bit longer right now because of the node modules having to be pulled down. But this actually builds, I would say, it like it builds about, I don't know, probably like a quarter of the speed. So it pops up. You also don't have to do the environment pulling. It'll automatically do the watch. And that happens almost instantaneously.
I
But,
recall having to add something like that.
But now we're still running to that
Wesley.
FS event. We're still running into the same problem.
You gave us
Did
the
he
broccoli
bounce
butt.
you? Lovely.
Which I was not running into. I was working on this.
Well, everything is slower when you're live streaming it.
Yeah,
That's fair.
everything was working until it was demo time, and now nothing works. Like, yep, that's how that works.
I'd even tried this exact scenario so that I could show how it worked better.
Likely story.
Trust me.
Just give it time. Just be patient.
No, it's
An NPM update. Just do it.
Those are just warnings. You can ignore the warnings. It's JavaScript.
Fair enough. Okay, we'll just let it do its thing. All right. So, anyways, we can talk about what we kind of need to do in the meantime. So, what I have done is I have created inside of components here, inside of the journal, I've created this new add day JS, and I've brought in a modal from React Modal and a date picker from React Date Picker. And I started working on the CSS, but quickly said, screw that. And so we have basically the skeleton here for what we'll need to do as far as the getting this to work, and I have basically just a little form here and the date picker to set the date. We need we'll need a wait, and which will just be a text input for now, and we have some notes to just sort of like maybe what type of a day it was, or kind of give yourself a little bit of reminder. So again, here's the.
Okay, so you're just doing a pop-up when they do new entry.
Yep. So that's what this modal is doing. We have a button here that can close it and just cancel, and then we have to do this handling submitting. So that's what we need to work on today, I figured, and we'll basically need to be able to wire up this with the service that we have for a day entry, which is so far just or day service, I think is what it was. Yeah. Which so far is just a constant list. And then we can create the service to add a day, and then the modal when we. Is this gonna go? Hey, looks like it. When we go ahead and submit that, it'll go and create that. I don't know. That's what I had in mind.
All right. Does the modal already fire? Let's see something.
Are we running?
Yeah. Hey, I'm on the board. Oh.
There we go. All right, so we're running locally in here.
Oh, you changed it. Add day instead of add entry.
Oh, did I? Yeah, add day. Yeah, because it didn't make a whole lot of sense, because now we're calling these entries. I changed that, and so we have add day here, and then we have a close, which closes us out, and then we have create, which
alerts.
Well, it alerts because I was writing to the log, but the log is only there on the modal, so when the modal closes out, the log goes away.
What?
So if I do this, right, and
isn't the modal on the page? It's a single page app. It shouldn't. You're not like refreshing the entire page when you close the modal, are you?
Maybe I am. I don't know.
I mean, that's what it looks like is going on, because there's a blink. Generally, that no good. We can worry about that later, though. Okay, So, but it's just alerting. It's not actually creating. It's not adding a day
Yep.
to the service.
That's correct.
So that'd be the thing.
Yep. So we first need to come, I guess, to the service and create an ad here, right?
See.
Siete.
Ocho. Why are we counting in Spanish?
I don't know.
Nice legs, Mr. Magoo.
Technically, it's just the one.
I assume the other one looks similar. I mean, I guess I could be wrong.
A mirror image.
Droppity drop drop.
All right. So
I think we talked about this. If you have 2 legs, then by definition you have
More than average.
more than average number of legs.
Yeah. There are people with the 3 legs though, which might actually throw your estimated average off by some.
But I would venture to say that fewer people have 3 legs than people have 1 or no legs.
It's probably a good guess. Yeah.
So then the average is still going to be less than 2.
You're so negative all the time.
No, I'm realistic.
all right.
Good evening, Sir Skull Legend. Welcome. This is Live Coding Live
Guess
Stream
we can do
Wednesday on
Oh,
the
go
Six
ahead.
Figure Developer channel. We're working on
Push.
personal projects.
Oh, you can't push. Can you? Can you push?
Can we push?
I mean, I know you can push, but can you push from the React perspective? You should be able to. And then you just have to, obviously, after you add the day, you have to pump your local data storage.
Do I now?
Yeah, so you add the day, right?
React.
That puts it onto the service storage, right? Like the database. But now you have to tell your page that data has changed and that it needs to reevaluate the data. So you can either how are you looking at the data right now?
Yeah.
So it's-
Yeah. So I think we are calling this
on page load get days or something.
Yep. Yeah.
So
yep.
on modal close, you would need to fire the service, and on success, fire the service to add day, and then on successful return of that, then call get days or something like that.
So
again.
maybe return a new promise.
Yeah.
So if you go back to the service and you return a new promise that resolves with, or that just resolves, like push day and then return as there's a shorthand, right? You can do like new promise or promise dot resolved or something like that. I can't remember.
Like that.
To the
maybe.
Googles.
I think so. You can try it, and then if it doesn't work, then it doesn't work. So then you would just be like add day, then, and then
So-
that's when you would tell React to update the data. You'd push the day onto your local stuff or whatever with a hook.
Okay.
Excuse me.
So I also need to get the ID and sort of fake this.
Right. So you just do a query to find out what the latest, or you could store index or ID as a
Index, yeah.
as a thing
Good idea.
somewhere.
Yeah,
No, just
let's do
store
that.
it down there with your other data, I guess. I mean,
Yep.
and then then that's just your counter, I guess. Let.
And we'll just Let's just start it at 5 because I think that's what we.
Yeah. So then you could do
Here.
day.id equals index plus plus, which is set it to 5, and then increment the index. Oh, actually, make a copy of day, because otherwise you're manipulating the data that you actually sent to the service.
Right, so that's where I have to do that.
So
like
do
expand.
do
right?
that thing.
Should I remember?
Dot in front of day, comma, ID equal index plus plus. And then you could just, I don't know, let new day equal that thing.
Did I do one too many? No.
No, that's
What's it not happy about?
I wouldn't worry about it just the second. Do a let new day equal and then figure it out. Yeah.
Oh.
It was mad because you weren't doing anything with it, I guess. Yeah, and then you would resolve new day.
Is it going to let me without being a constant? I don't remember. Sorry.
Yeah, just on line 9 resolve, and then inside resolve you're passing the new day back as the resolved value, assuming that this promise.resolve thing works,
Okay.
which I haven't done in a while, so I'm guessing.
All right. So then we come over here and we need to import.
If it works, you were brilliant. If it doesn't work, Ash typed something wrong.
Mr. Magoo, you're getting awfully deep there. I mean, tomorrow is always a day away, so I'm not real
I thought
sure.
it was only a day away.
Well, only and always. I mean, forever. I'm not the philosophical type.
I do know that today is Godzilla versus Kong Day, something my son has been excited about for the last 3 months.
Yeah, my son, I presumably forgot to look at the calendar today. But Sunday we will be watching that. Well, I've seen a lot of things that say that early reviews are bad. But whatever, it's a monster movie. How good did they expect it to be?
The 8-year-old thoroughly enjoyed it.
Oh, you did watch it already?
Oh, yeah.
All right. So it's been a while. And I don't know. And I've certainly not done this in. So we've got to call. The first thing we need to do is call that service, right? So we've got get days. Or yeah.
So let that
No,
rip.
not get days. Sorry, I have the wrong one.
Yeah, add day. Yeah, let that rip and then
add day. But we need to pass a day in.
right. So just pass like a dummy object for a minute. Like fill out something that we can see, I guess. I don't know. I mean, you could grab all the data from the form if you want. But
And let me grab this base day. And let's put that here. And instead of this let's make it 2. 20.
yeah, I guess the ultimate. Okay. Well, you'll have so on the props you'll have to have a add day thing that you can set, or new day that you can set as a local state. But we can get to that in a second. So
what are you attempting to do?
No, not result. What you doing? It's a promise, so you would just do add day dot then, and then you'd have a lambda or an arrow function,
been a
whatever you
while.
want to call it.
Got it.
Yeah, and then so this would have your new day as its parameter value being passed in.
Does he need new day? What are you wanting to do?
So here's because this is a separate component, the way that I would think to do it is to have this component execute a state value that was passed in on its props and set the new day equal to that, or set that state value equal to the new day. So you would have a set new day value or whatever, and then it could pass it back. And then instead of the main body of the application having to go, okay, get all the days again, it could just add the new day. That's what I would think to do. Do you have...
I would usually just either get them all again or, yeah. Which could be costly. So, either way.
So it depends on how you want to do it.
So, okay, so one issue is the place that's getting the days is here.
Mm-hmm.
In
basically when the modal
journal,
closes, you need to tell your other app to do something. You can either tell it to get all the days, or you can hand it a day and say, here, add that. So, do you have a preference?
So you're saying when hide day when this closes. So this is hiding the modal, but right now all it's doing is just setting the show to false.
Oh, Clayton turned off featured chat.
But no, I didn't.
Well, it's not showing.
Well, it's on.
So why is add day resolving a promise? So right now we have just a stubbed out, mocked out service that would do the communicating with a persistence side, an API or something. And so with that, we would probably want to do an asynchronous call to make that do a thing. And then upon successful response of that thing, then we could handle the data appropriately. On an error, we could handle an error message or something like that.
Yeah. How do you say your handle there?
Unticked.
But it's like a mock.
Yeah. So okay. So what I'm thinking is, I don't think we actually want to do anything.
Yeah, if we don't want to use the value that may be coming back from the service on like a post or whatever, then you could still use the then and just close the model because the modal because they've created something.
Yeah. So either way, I would, depending, like the order of operations would be to call the thing, to get a response, either success or not, and then close the modal and do something on close successful of the modal and successful of the call, because then you either want to take the response of that new day and add it to the underlying page, or you want the underlying page to say, oh, the days array has updated, let me fetch them again.
Yeah. So
you would want to have, you would probably pass in a function or a callback function or something like that into the modal to say that, once it completed successfully, then close the modal and call this function to either add that day to your array on page and local state on page, or tell your underlying page to refetch the days. So you would still ultimately want something, and maybe the modal is the right place for that. Maybe all of that logic gets pulled out somewhere and whatever. So
yeah. Okay. So we're already passing into the modal, or into this add day component, which is basically the whole modal. We're passing in this hide day function, which
right,
basically
so if that hide day function took a Boolean, a true or a false, then that would be whether more or less successful, but basically, does the rest of the app need to worry about an update right now? So wherever you're calling this close modal, if you passed true on a successful add day, then the rest of your app the rest of your app would know that it needs to update. That state has been affected.
All right. Oh, I guess so.
Yeah, so right there you're calling it, and you could just
calling it.
You could just call it with if you did an in place lambda function.
So okay, so what I need to do is I need to call after this promise is returned. I need to call that close modal.
Right. So like props.close model true. Right inside the your lambda function up there.
True.
To let the rest of the app know that it was a successful operation.
Oh, I see. Okay.
And that it needs to update. When they click the close button, you don't actually need to update. There's nothing that needs to happen.
That's true.
If they click a cancel or something like that, nothing needs to happen. You only need to do something if they have actually created the day.
So that feels like single responsibility violation, right? But
it's a common pattern to have your modals return a true or false response. Technically, a true or false parameter does mean that the function is doing two things and could be treated as a single responsibility violation. But this is a pattern that's been around since modals.
Okay. So here I can do props dot close modal.
Mr. Magoo says stop fighting.
Well, then we won't be talking.
This is actually progress. The lines of communication are open.
I don't need that. Okay.
Wes is here for the drama.
And then, okay, so then I come back over here, and this needs to then take in...
Is success.
Is...
All right, and so then you would set show date false, and then also whatever you're doing when you get the days. Set days, get days.
Yeah, if is success, right?
Yep. You could also do the inverse, and you could say if can has no success.
Please don't.
Okay. All right.
Do you think the McDonald's app has like an if statement somewhere? If can has cheeseburger.
I don't know, but Blazer Mr. Magoo landed for a 95 with that stop sign.
All right, so let's give this a shot here.
That's a hard stop.
So we add day.
Why straight down? Just pitiful. New day.
New day.
It's the dawn of a new day. And then
can you do that again with the network tab selected there? I think you are refreshing.
I can almost guarantee it.
Yeah, it's not it's not actually following, I don't think, is the problem. Because it's not triggering the rebuild here.
Well, just clear out the network tab and then do a thing and see what happens. Yep. It's reloading the page.
You're muted.
You actually have a form there.
Oh, no, I'm not.
Yeah. Should I not be doing a form here?
I mean, you can, but
I'm not happy to not.
I think default of. I think we got to change defaults because I think it is doing a post to something. So you need to prevent default, maybe.
Okay. So then, okay, so then I come back over here, and this needs to then take in. So we add day. And then, okay, so then I come back over here, and this needs to then take in. So we add day. And then, okay, so then I come back over here, and this needs to then take in. So we add day. And then, okay, so then I come back over here, and this needs to then take in. So we add day. And then, okay, so then I come back over here, and this needs to then take in. So we add day. And then, okay, so then I come back over here, and this needs to then take in. So we add day. And then, okay, so then I come back over here, and this needs to then take in. So we add day. And then, okay, so then I come back over here, and this needs to then take in. So we add day. And then, okay, so then I come back over here, and this needs to then take in. So we add day. And then, okay, so then I come back over here, and this needs to then take in. So we add day. And then, okay, so then I come back over here, and this needs to then take in. So we add day. And then, okay, so then I come back over here, and this needs to then take in. So we add day. And then, okay, so then I come ba What should I be doing? What would you recommend?
Don't use forms.
Whatever. I use Material UI so much, and you just use all the underlined stuff, and then React Final Form and all those things that I don't deal directly with this stuff anymore.
Yeah.
So I think as long as you in your handle submit of the form, if you just prevent default, I think you should be fine.
I generally don't use actual forms.
What do you mean though? Prevent default? I guess I don't understand.
So that should accept an event, I believe, and then it would just be event.prevent default. Event, yeah, whatever.
Lowercase p.
You in the JavaScripts.
Capital D.
Open close. Semicolon.
Stop it.
All right. Oh yeah. So
that may or may not do something.
Oh, I no wonder we're running into problems here.
What's going on?
He's using the wrong terminal.
Yeah.
He's got to use the WSL terminal.
Yep.
Or Git Bash.
No,
I like Git Bash.
This is WSL.
I don't think that was a problem, but okay.
Well, it's not the problem with the refresh. It's the problem with the FS event or whatever it was. Because he was in PowerShell, so he was in Windows.
Okay, that makes more sense.
Boom.
Right. So the question is, what have I been changing this whole time?
You know.
The one in Windows or the one in...
I mean, the files are all the same, aren't they?
Yeah, but they...
Because it's all mounted.
Yeah, see, so this tricked me. That was my problem. Okay.
See, simplificate.
No, add more steps.
No, it is...
Do it.
No, don't need to install that.
Clayton, you should shrink Ash's window or trim Ash's window, remove the right-handmostest side, remove his microphone and that gray line or whatever.
Well, yeah, so I don't know what's up with that. Here, 1 second. Let me go to Ash's code camera, and then everybody can see Ash. But everybody's going to see Ash in the raw because otherwise I can't. I guess that's a problem.
All right, let's just fix this real quick.
This week's episode brought to you by Ash.
Components, services, day service.
I didn't realize it was this involved.
No. Yeah. Okay. So
Which one of us?
Yes.
Were we? Okay. I'm sorry.
We were.
This has gotten me all kind of confused.
Did that do
we're just
anything?
gotten.
Oh, well, there's that.
Much better. Perfect.
All right.
I can't tell. Is it gone?
Looks like it might be.
Nope.
Yeah. The
Oh, that's on you. Your turn.
So what was happening?
Apologies, everybody.
Oh, no.
It's about to get worse. What are you talking about? Oh, that. Yeah, you're right. It's right there. Yep. There goes. Oh. Hey, Long Boolean, welcome. Clayton is playing cameraman and focusing on us for some reason. Probably because I told him to remove some of the artifacts.
So I think we have
They
this
can't
working
see your
now.
screen right now, Ash. This is Live Coding Live Stream Wednesday, where we work on personal projects. We are working on Ash's LiftFitLog, a fitness tracker application written in React. And once Clayton is done playing cameraman, then you
Camera
see,
1, camera 2. Camera 1, camera 2.
You see that Ash's application is failing to compile.
Ta-da.
Hey, Frank's here. Welcome, Frank.
Oh, colon.
Bonjour.
It's a colon. Not an equals.
Right here.
Yeah. Well. I mean, never mind. Yes.
Like that.
Yes.
Yeah. See, now it's watching and going faster. Okay. So we were looking at this in the network tab.
See. There we. Well, no, but that didn't
Okay.
flash.
No, it's still reloading.
Yeah.
It should not have done
But
any of
okay,
that.
so coming over, let's see. We may be.
Handle submit. Where'd our E prevent default?
Oh yeah, that's gone.
It's gone.
All of it's gone actually. What happened to handle submit?
Too many windows
It's
here.
in the other. It's in the other code
Yeah,
editor.
it's in the other code base.
What? What? Huh?
So
Ash has Visual Studio Code Inception, one on Windows and one in WSL in Ubuntu.
yes, so what had happened was when I thought I was opening up the WSL one, I was actually still working out of the Windows version.
But
And you're on the same branch. Couldn't you have just checked in the other one and opened it up on that one?
Well, there.
Yes.
That's
Yes.
one thing I could have done.
yeah. Commit, push, pull. Because there's
Let's
more
see
than
here.
just that one file that's different.
The journal.
Looks like there's 4 of them.
You could have commit, push, pulled by now.
But I didn't want to. This one, oh, okay, that's that. That's what's there. Okay, the journal.
What'd you do tonight? I watched these 3 yahoos just yell at each other on Twitch all night.
It was great.
Wes,
All right.
Wes said he was here for the drama earlier. So
Okay. So
Princess is in another
So you
code
need
base.
the
Nice.
you need the add day function. You need to add it to the service.
But wasn't Toad with Princess Peach in the other
I didn't
castle?
grab that one.
What was he
Yeah,
doing?
My bad.
That's what I don't just get push pull.
All right, fine.
And why is Ash's shirt mostly see-through?
I don't know because it's not green. It's more black than anything else. I don't know. It's because he's sepia.
All right. We're going to just.
Yeah. See, now
undo
you've
all
gone and
those.
done it.
Reset head
push.
hard. It'll be fine.
Now we'll pull.
Yeah, reset hardhead.
Oh, nice. Blazer Mr. Magoo says his shirt is in Ubuntu, his head is in WSL. I would feature chat that, but
I don't know what to... Hold on. Let me see if I can just refresh.
Oh, we still have
refresh
the same
the,
problem and fix this. And
There you
now
go.
it's compiling, and now everything's good. Now we go to open that up and clear the network and create.
delete all the things.
Boom. Okay.
Ta-da!
It's not refreshing.
Did it add the data, or have we not added that part yet?
No, we should have added
There
that.
it is.
Yep, it is. Yep,
Ta-da.
it's there.
yep, prevent default.
Okay, perfect. So,
Yeah, by default, I think a form is a post.
Yes. And in single-page application development, you don't really need like an actual form. They're kind of pointless.
I think at the very least it'll provide some screen reader area stuff.
I think it can, yeah. But
And you can set default buttons on forms and things. So it's not it's okay. It's fine. You'll be all right.
okay. So we're still okay. So we need to pull in these values from the form. I don't know. I just went with it's been a while. So
button type submit instead of... Actually, I think if you just do button, it's automatically a type submit, unless you do button type button.
Yeah, it is.
Yeah, so just do button.
Button value create. Yep. Which will burn you if you don't want it to be an actual submit.
oh, right.
I think you have to...
oh.
It's I think you trap the text
it-
on a button.
Text, isn't it, or something?
No, I think
No,
it's
between the things.
open button tag, type the text, close
right,
button
right,
tag.
right.
I
Yeah,
think.
that's right.
Say button one more time.
Okay, so and then that's it. I'm trying to remember how I can pull in, because right now we're just setting a base day in. So how do I pull in the values from that form?
Wait, you're in the modal now?
Yep.
Oh, okay, yeah. Well, so you have to have state for those values. You can have like a day state that has all the values in it. Like if you created a
Okay.
as if it
doesn't
were
need-
class a new
Do I
day.
need that?
He doesn't need state. They're the values on the form. He can just reference them on the form.
Right, but doesn't he need state in order for those values to be updated so that he can actually access? Well, okay, so you're saying like form dot blah blah blah.
Right.
Okay, then you need an ID on your... Well, you don't need an ID on your form. It'd be easier. You got to do document
Form.
dot get element form somewhere. Get
I
element
see.
by
So,
tag or
okay,
get element
so-
by ID.
Okay, so I could do. Yeah, this is sort of what one of the reasons why I left it. So
Oh yeah, we work on different individuals' personal projects occasionally. So my project is the game framework project, which is going through a bit of turmoil right now. Ash's project is this LiftFitLog, which is a fitness tracker that he's writing in React. And then John's project is he's got two. So he's got Speaker Meet, which is a application for seeing who's going to be speaking at what event and tracking that speaker and all that kind of stuff. And he's also got Triple Derby, which is a game that it's currently in React.
Well, most of the code for Triple Derby so far is in the API.NET 5, but Speaker Meet is in React and .NET 5.
Yeah. So just to let everybody get a chance to code and to keep things fresh, where we rotate depending on who is ready and capable of the chastising. Capable of receiving, I guess that is.
Okay, so I guess I don't really. So yeah, I don't. I'm a little bit. I don't really.
So in
I
your
guess I
handle,
can come here and I can create an ID and call it the
day form or something. It doesn't really matter.
So, and then I can do that, but it doesn't feel very Reacty. Is that?
It's hard to say. The React community does one of two things: shoot from the hip and go crazy, or rely solely on third-party packages.
Please send your hate mail to Clayton at sixfiguredev.com.
That's what I've. So it's either as John was suggesting, Material UI, and so you're using all the Material UI components to do things.
React Final Form is the preferred these days, I believe.
So you get everything from those components, or you shoot from the hip and you just do it live.
Yeah. So really, the question is, Ash, do you want to do vanilla JavaScript as much as you can, or do you want to do the Reacty things as much as you can?
Yeah, that's a great question. I sort of
there isn't really a wrong answer.
Yeah,
so
I sort of want to do the most Reacty thing that I can because.
Then break out your node modules. Get ready.
All right, no problem.
So Long Boolean suggests that we just do an extreme coding stream where we all just work on everything. So we all have our individual projects up and just the screen flashes and people like convulse or something.
I could almost totally go for that, except I don't know how we would display all three screens.
Yeah, no, it would be terrible.
If I could figure that out, we'd do like 10 minutes and then swap, and then 10 minutes and then swap.
No,
That'd be
not
awesome.
swap. Just all at once.
All at once. Well, yeah, you'd have to have like a 16K screen, but sure. Figure something out. I could interleave, right? So you got like my code on one strip of pixels.
Oh, yeah.
And then Ash's code on the next strip of pixels, and then John's code on the next strip of pixels, and just keep alternating through.
Yeah. No, okay, so I kind of liked Clayton's idea.
Go nuts with node modules?
No.
Oh.
So basically, I guess I would want to add state to this input, right? So that when I do push this button, I can basically have it call instead of maybe complete closing the form. I could just have it call save day or whatever, and then I can grab those things from.
Yeah, so if you were going to do it that way, then where you've got your dummy data right now.
Yep. I need this.
Do base day. Well, so yeah, that same pattern up there, and then just pass your dummy data in as the default value.
New day.
And that'll let us test that all the data gets wired up correctly, and then we'll have to do tests to make sure that you can change all the data correctly.
So new day.
Oh, if only that were a new JavaScript framework, that would be the best. Long Boolean Reacty is just our goofy way of saying in the most React-based way, or in the most React idiomatic way.
Yeah, Ash, you're relatively new to React, right?
Yes.
Safe.
Yeah, this is the first really stuff that I've done with React at all.
And
So-
Clayton hates everything.
I
Mostly JavaScript.
no, I like raw JavaScript. I just think
JavaScript frameworks.
I think that
Libraries.
I think that when they were creating React, they went crazy rediscovering patterns from 60 years ago, and rediscovering them. Not like finding somebody who wrote about a pattern, but like making up the pattern that already existed. And that's what Redux was to me, and Flux and all that. And as you can see, now that they've been like, oh, that was actually a thing 40 years ago, they've thrown it away, and now we have hooks, which is, in my mind, a much better way to accomplish the same thing. And that was my original complaint with React, was that just it seemed like somebody was reinventing all of the patterns that were already invented, and I didn't see the point in it. I do not.
Clayton does love Xamarin. He
All right.
loves Xamarin so much.
so Wesley, with Xamarin,
AutoMapper.
with Xamarin, that firing up file new project and getting that wonderful template was very misleading, because I was unable to manipulate the template to do what I wanted it to do. However, going through the Microsoft training and starting with a code-based approach without even having a XAML file, and then adding the XAML file, and then adding an event-based approach, that is actually going really well, and I'm having fun with Xamarin doing it that way. Eventually, I'm assuming that the Microsoft training will get me over to MVVM, and I'll understand, how that interaction works. But right now, that interaction to me is very frustrating.
All right, so I don't know that I actually want.
Yeah, no, I wouldn't say use base day. I would literally copy the curly braces and just paste them in, and then I would delete base day.
Well, sure, okay, well, that's not what I was.
So let me catch up real quick. So you've removed the form tag, is that right?
Yep.
And you've
We have a button here on.
Mm-hmm. So I would make that a type button then.
Yeah, you did.
Button.
You did.
No.
Type button.
Button.
Well, there's nothing for it to submit, so it doesn't really matter.
But if anything else wraps this,
Yes,
then it would.
if a form does eventually wrap this, then yeah.
Got it. So I should probably do that up here as well.
Type reset is also, I guess, a thing you get from having a form around it, which you would not get otherwise.
Okay. And then, do we need local state? What are you using your local state for?
All right, so yeah, I don't think I wanted local state for this whole day, right? What we need to do is we need to be able to, when this clicks, grab the data that's been put into the date picker and the right.
Yeah, and I don't think you need local state for that. I think we're still. Did you decide you want to stick with more
React
stuff?
Yeah.
For that,
which would generally be local state and on-changed events, right?
Right. So
for every button or for every keystroke, you're going to be updating local state.
well, you could do it like an on focus leave
on
or
blur,
something like that.
yeah.
On blur.
Or do you want to introduce something like React Final Form?
What is that?
I'm so glad you asked.
Like I said, get your node modules out.
You see that it was already in my cut buffer and just ready to go.
He's been waiting on this for like 10 minutes. While
Okay.
while I had a mini rant.
All right, so we put this in. Got it. Hopefully this works.
Clayton,
Yeah.
you and Ash are not adhering to social distancing, though.
Yeah, I don't know how he moved over there. Oh, he's just scooted way over on his. There he is. Now he's over by you.
Sudo chown.
What's your password?
Stuff and things.
It's 1, 2, 3, 4, 5.
Hey, it's the same password I have on my luggage.
So this is where John and my development differ a bit. If I'm doing something for fun, like this is, then I want to know how everything works, and I mean everything. So I do everything like from scratch myself. If I'm doing things for work purposes, then I do try to like use something that's already been made. Although sometimes if I don't understand how that thing works, that also still doesn't go very well. Whereas
And
John, it seems to be very good at picking up third-party utilities and using them.
I'm very good at adapting to the environments that I find myself in, and if I'm on a React team or working with React or React people, then I'm going to find what they choose or prefer to use and try to adjust accordingly. And Frank's saying next time I give a try to a JS project, I should have you as a pair programmer.
Yep, alt up.
I'm not sure who you're directing that towards, but maybe it was someone else in chat, because surely it's not us.
We're great as pair programmers.
If you've got thick skin, I have learned so much from working with Clayton. I do appreciate it. He has a unique style.
That's a way of saying stupid.
I enjoy pairing with others, and they may or may not enjoy pairing with me. Ash goes with the flow, so maybe you were directing it towards Ash.
That's what
Ash
it's
would be good.
Ash balances this out.
So I'm trying to understand. So this is
All
form,
three of us.
and then there's a form inside of the form.
Yeah, it's React.
Well,
That's what you get.
that's an uppercase form. So that uppercase form is the React final form React component. The lowercase form is the HTML element.
Which swallows. So the React final form swallows a form.
All right.
And this is where my head goes, what? Why? But
And that's why I was and maybe we might even want to just take a step back for a second and just get it going with the vanilla JavaScript. That actually might be what I would suggest. And then once we get that going with vanilla JavaScript, then maybe we introduce something like React Final Form. Because I think if we start on React Final Form right now, that's what the rest of the stream will be.
good news. Easter deals are hopping.
Nice.
Yep. All right. Okay. So. All right. So we're back to. I need this ID then.
Yeah, you get.
It goes.
Yes.
Yeah, the problem with work is for work and side projects are all about reinventing things is that particularly with Clayton's Blazor game engine, we did spend a lot of time making no progress whatsoever. And once Clayton decided, let's just make some progress, I think it's gone a lot better.
It's gone a lot messier.
Well, okay, it's gone farther. How about that? Is that fair?
Yeah, until I deleted it yesterday.
You deleted the whole thing?
No, I deleted some of the progress that I'd made.
Aw.
I
But
so
Git.
well so monogame. There's a whole lot of code, and there's no way that I would understand from the API to put that code together. And it was becoming extremely difficult to learn WebGL in the context of how I would try to use it for monogame. So I think what I'm going to do is scrap the monogame part of the idea and just simply build a game engine that will use WebGL but be where you'd write the code in Blazor.
The other thing that I think that you're getting derailed on is that you've swapped out 3 different rendering engines.
No. It's just Canvas 2D and monogame and WebGL. They're WebGL 1 versus WebGL 2, but that's just a header you put on the shaders, really.
All right. So remind me how I can get the form date.
Ooh. Well, you've got it on change.
No, I got that. I got that because that's
yeah, that's a thing.
Yep, I can just get that start date. And then
Then you don't need local storage at all, right?
huh? Well, that's just one of the things. So now I need to get the weight. Which is from the form. So that's going to be what? Form dot
Yeah, Mr. Magoo, I am trying to go the Canvas route, and yes, long Boolean OpenGL is daunting. Yeah, so if you've got, you don't necessarily need the name, but you need the ID. You need an ID for all these.
we don't have an ID here.
Right.
Okay. Well then, okay. So
ID
yeah,
weight.
so I'm doing the wrong way. Wait.
Yeah, the name is valuable if you are posting the data, but the ID
Yep.
is valuable if you're doing like API calls and stuff, or you know,
Yeah.
this way.
Yeah, and then we could just get the value of that, right? Something like
Yeah.
that.
So
Is that
document
right?
get element by ID with the ID,
And
and then dot value. Unless you want to pull in jQuery, and then it's dot val.
No.
And long Boolean, feel free to derail. I mean, that's what Clayton and I are doing while Ash is typing.
Mm-hmm.
Trying our best to derail him.
Oh yeah, I didn't see that. Snag. You talking about with monogame? It's just
With the Blazor game engine, yeah.
yeah. So monogame is it's huge, and I wouldn't be able to really come up with all that stuff on my own. So I started to go down the path a couple days ago of copying, pulling down the Git repository for monogame, and then trying to. It has these platform classes and methods that you can extend and adapt monogame to any platform, and I started to try and do that, and it's not set up in a way where you can even do that effectively. Like, they have classes that are partial that you're supposed to write a second half to, but they're sealed, so you can't unless you're in the exact same folder. But you're not supposed to be in that folder because you're supposed to be in the platform folder. It's just a rabbit hole of not the way I want to write code. So I'm going to just start fresh, and, we'll continue like the... I don't know if you were watching any of that at all. Well, no, you were there, Long Boolean. So we're going to continue the Breakout game as an exploratory game. But I will write the custom functions for the platform, for the game framework that I would like to write, not the one that Monogame would force me to write. I was just using Monogame because it's an existing platform. It works. People have used it to make actual games. But it's not my style, so I'll just do my own thing. And it'll either be good or it'll be terrible. And that's okay. Yeah, we're breaking all the rules, Cam. Cam, I don't know how to say it. the full name altogether. Brian?
Oh,
Breen? Cambrine?
Yeah, so since Ash is relatively new to React and just trying to get, like we said, trying to get some progress going, my recommendation was, since we were looking at different options, was just get this form going with vanilla JavaScript, and then we can get that going. Maybe introduce something like React Final Form, or if there's a newer kid on the block looking at something like that.
All right, so we are doing that now. So here's today. We can go to the 29th. And now we have that information here. So what we're doing is we're doing get by ID, grabbing the value. Basically inside of that form. And then when that... All right, so when this create button gets... Oh, and we can try closing out. Yeah, it doesn't add anything new. Then if we add a new day, even in the future, let's do... And... Now that's there. Okay.
Looks like you've put on a few pounds.
Yeah, it's been a rough
2,435 pounds.
Yeah, it's a muscle.
2 days ago.
It's a, you know.
Then you lost. No, you gained even more.
Yeah.
On this coming Friday.
Uh-huh. Those are some good gains. So okay.
Are you happy with that?
It works. I don't know that I'm happy with it. I feel like
this is where I would suggest then you commit, or just even locally, just commit that locally.
Yeah, I already pushed it up.
Okay. And then we can look at is now a good time to explore something like React Final Form.
Okay, perfect. Yeah, so it's working. I guess I don't. Yeah, I definitely don't like getting the values directly. I guess one. How would I guess so. So to me, before we go the route of actually final form, because, well, the form is kind of nice. It seems to me like I already am getting the state picker, and a more reacty way to do it would be to, when, like on blur, when this goes away, this should save to state the weight.
For what purpose?
Huh? So that when I click the create button, it can retrieve that from the state.
Right. For what purpose?
So that I can submit. And so instead of grabbing this by value, instead of having to go into the thing.
So you want to do that as an intermediate step?
Well, so I guess I'm trying to understand what the React Final Form gets me other than
it does the state for you.
Yeah, you don't have to worry about all that extra stuffs. I mean,
you just have to write 20 more lines of HTML.
It adds its own extra stuff, but you don't have to manage your local state and all that stuff.
It's all about
it also has some validation and stuff and some configuration that you can utilize.
It's all about trading pain. Where do you want your pain to be?
Yeah, for my React apps, I usually use Material UI because I don't CSS, and use whatever will plug in nicely with Material UI, and Final Form is one of those. But I think that's a fun intermediate step for sure.
Cam is suggesting use ref.
Use ref.
and ref dot current value or ref dot current dot value would be another option.
And you do have you added the form back, so you do have the form, so you could grab the form by element
And then use the
just
name.
reference the form dot name dot value form dot
It's form square braces, isn't it? To get a form value.
either. No, you can do form dot
Weight dot value.
form dot weight dot value. But you have to get a reference to the form first. Yeah, so
Basically,
Cam
there's
says,
1,000 ways to do it.
Yeah, so Cam says state would be better, and I think that would be, and I think that would help solidify.
Yeah. Okay.
React thing.
So let's do that.
I think it's fair.
Yeah. Okay. So what we're going to need is, and initially we had created a new day state, but what we actually want is a wait state.
Is weight the only thing?
And notes.
Okay.
Yeah.
So
Let's see, and that's
we
why
have-
originally I suggested creating a state from the day, and then you only have one state to track, and then in your on change or on blur or whatever, you just do the expansion thing, and you do, set or dot current day or new day or whatever, comma, and then
We
weight
could do
colon value, e dot target dot value, I believe.
So we could do that. I guess I'll have to.
You could do it either way. It just depends on how many. Again, it's where you
I'd
want
have
your
to
pane to be.
I'd have to update this. So okay, so this would just be that day start date or date. Like right, we have a day, and then it would be date.
Dot date.
Yep, and then this would be date, and then it would be set.
Set day or set new day, and then in the value you would have open curly brace dot day comma date colon date.
Okay, I'm gonna skip it. We'll get there maybe next.
Yeah, in individual local state properties
Set,
at this point for each. I think that's fine. One step at a time.
That added and immediately removed a song to my head.
You're welcome.
Okay, so then here, we won't need this,
Right.
and we won't need the name, will we?
No, but it doesn't hurt to have. I mean, you could just leave it.
Sure.
Yeah. So then you would
So
do.
Go ahead.
No, go ahead.
You said blur, right?
Right? Yep.
OB blur. So you need to get. It needs to be a. You need a lambda that takes in E
Well,
for the event.
Okay, actually, yeah. He doesn't need to, but we can do that later.
And then set weight E dot target dot value. And then that should set the value on blur. Let's instant replay.
Yeah.
Let's see that again, Bob.
Okay, so then this would be. Wait.
And then you could even get rid of the weight colon. You could just wait. Get all fancy. Leave it like that. Just it's fine. You need to learn to ignore some of my suggestions because they're just throwing stuff out there. Pipe organs.
Most of them.
Boom.
It did
Okay.
a thing. Wow,
Yep.
now you've really lost weight.
Yeah.
All right, so real quick, and this might be a derailment.
Yeah, go ahead.
On the Lambda that he said, one thing I usually I like to try to avoid is the Lambda functions inside the events, the on blurs and the things like that, because if you ever do maps or iterations, then it'll create a new function expression for each of those.
Okay.
So I would extract that to a function. Normally, I wouldn't at this point, but in another scenario that if you found yourself like this, extract that from Lambda to all of that to a function like set new date wait or something, and just the name of the function, and then inside the function it takes an e and so set new wait, so and it takes in an e, so it is a function.
Yeah, it's the Lambda function that you put down there. You're just pulling it out.
Or do I don't even need that.
Yeah,
Right, I could just do...
well, yeah, you can.
Right.
Mm-hmm. And then in the on blur, just set new weight.
No, this needs an equals there. Like
well,
that.
yeah, if you do it that way.
Cam, am I understanding correctly? You would suggest naming that function handle blur? The only problem with that, if that's what you mean, is that then all of them would be named that, or are you suggesting that the input has a handle blur method?
Yeah, and similarly,
Okay.
This one right
Ash,
here.
you could, well, you've got set start date. You could do it exactly like you've got set new weight.
Yep.
You don't need the date arrow and then pass in the date.
Oh, I see. Yeah, we
same,
could just do that.
Mm-hmm.
Handle weight blur. Yeah. I could be on board with that. But we're about to change all of this anyway.
Handle blur weight.
I got
think
it.
these are
Okay.
good incremental steps.
All right, notes. Set notes.
Yeah, and so then that if that were inside a loop or something, then it wouldn't create a new function expression for all of those. It would just have a reference to the function for all of those and only have a single function.
All right, let's do another one.
Oh my. Fluctuating wildly.
Oh well, no, that slipped in here. We're not doing any sort of.
Yeah, but that's still an order of magnitude higher than you were before. You know, between March 29th and April 2nd, you put on and lost an order of magnitude of weight.
Look.
And this is another reason that well, I don't know. There might be an argument to reload all days, but then that gets really expensive. You would at least want to
I think he is.
reorder all days.
Yeah, he's reloading
Are you-
them now.
Are you reloading?
I'm
Yeah.
reloading them.
Okay. Then
We're just not doing any ordering.
Yeah, you would
On the
filter
day.
order
Yeah.
something. We can introduce something.
Sort.
What are they?
Just a sort,
Sort.
Selectors. We can introduce selectors, which I usually try to put in between the consumers of the data and the retrieval of the data, because then the selector would format it and do the things that you want out of it, and then that would be the place where you change it.
Let's do one of those.
Oh, jeez.
Yeah, let's do it.
We got half an hour.
Yeah, I think that would probably be more useful than
whatever we
Turning
were going
this-
to do next.
Yeah, into this. Or what do you think? Selectors or
What do you think, chat? Is our selectors the things? Wait, just don't get to the big O
Of n squared. That would hurt.
of n squared. Yeah. So do we continue reactifying and or introducing a form package? Do we introduce selectors? Are selectors still the preferred thing? Or just the thing that I am used to for the last few years? Because things change pretty quickly.
yeah, I'm. It's a new concept for me, the selectors thing. So
I don't
would
think
be
I've
okay.
used them in React. I've used a similar thing in Angular, but not in React. Go for it, John.
Let me double check.
Reactifying. Oh, that's your comment. I thought you were searching for reactifying.
So yeah, so my understanding is what you're saying by selector is, and we still kind of have this weird mock thing, but in get days, it's going to take in get or what is it? Is it get days, or is there going to be something in between get days and the actual call for get days, which is
If
in
that's a Redux thing, can you use it when you're doing hooks instead of Flux?
Oh, you're right. You know what? You might be right. I don't think I'm actually using selectors
So-
in speaker meet anymore.
So yeah, John. What John was saying though is it's something that goes in between the retrieval of the data and the display of the data that can reformat the data. So
Yeah.
in your case, you could do get days, local days dot, and then
Sort.
map or map and sort, or whatever it is whatever transformations you need to do. So really, I think it'd be a sort is all we're looking to do, right?
Yeah.
Sort by date.
sort, and then
It takes A and B and a lambda, and then you return I think you return a 1 if A is greater than B, and a -1 if B is greater than A, and a 0 if they're equal. Something like that. So A and B are your days.
The
So
the fun part is, are we? What is the data type of date?
date.
And okay,
yeah,
so
it's a new date.
then it would be a date compare sort.
This is a date compare.
No. Let me.
Yeah,
The
just hold
algorithm
on.
is a little bit different.
Yeah, John
Is-
will give it to you in a second.
No problem.
Yeah, it would be return new date, B date minus new date, A date. Yeah, so you've got so sort takes an A and a B. Inside that, it
Then
would be
return.
return new space uppercase date B dot date minus, and then outside of that, so backspace 3, minus new date A dot date.
Does he need the due date?
Well, it depends. What is the data type of
It is a date.
local days is date?
Yep.
If you look down at local days and you see date, date is a date.
Okay.
So
Then, yeah.
it could just be B dot date minus A
B
dot
dot-
date, right?
Yep.
Lowercase date.
Yep. Got it. I'll fix this in a second.
And this shouldn't mutate the data because we're not assigning it to anything or anything like that. So then you don't need the return and you don't need the curly braces. If we're gonna optimificate.
Well, here, let me let it compile.
And then tell it to recompile.
That seemed right, actually, because it's already filtered it, right? If I add a new one here, boom,
And that's the newest, yeah.
But if I add one back in, oh, come on.
Way back. Well, that's an invalid weight.
He's gone plaid.
There you go.
Boom.
So that's the order you want, right? So
Yep.
Okay.
So yeah, now you can optimize the sort function. Just get rid of the curlies in the return statement. Ta-da!
Yeah, and then the reason that gets really expensive, I think, if I understand how your page would be working, whether it is working that way currently or not, is that if you add a new day and then refetch all days, and then you would have to refetch all the day entries 2 times W chest press, all that for each of those individual days, then you would have all those calls and
Yes.
things.
Yes.
Right, because right now, yeah, when we fetch,
It's a O of n
yes,
plus O of n. So that is O of n squared, right? Or is it just O of... It's not 2n because it's 2 different n's.
yeah,
It's 2 different.
it's just
Well, it's 2 different.
it's just very chatty, right?
It's an O of n times an O of n. So that's O of n squared, right?
Yeah, the issue that we had on a rather large project was that the data would get stale very, very quickly, and so it was often just easier just to refresh the whole thing.
And that's-
which gets just performance heavy. You're gonna just hammer your
Right, but this is
persistence there.
a personal log, so the data shouldn't be stale.
Cam says O of n plus m.
Okay. Where did M come from? This is why I should have went to school.
Yeah, that I think that's what we were talking about. Again, it's been a month or something like that. We were talking about, should we have this?
Very upset. Someone is very upset in the background.
Oh, I'm sorry, my daughter. Yeah. Instead of having the journal goes through and adds all of the days, and then the days go and get all of the.
You are mapping. We could order in that, whatever. Never mind.
Well, it'd still be a
order
separate.
here?
It'd still be a separate sort function.
There was another map in somewhere else.
Something about
Yeah.
a map.
Yep. It's fine. Yep, we're good.
That's a different map. It's a different thing.
Something
Okay.
about a map.
Oh, cool.
What else? Where are we? So we're not going to do selectors because that's a Redux thing.
Yep. So this is now working. This was
It's not working, or it is
no, it is working. It's now working.
now working. Okay.
Now working. Yeah.
It's not working.
It's I need to go through and style it, but
Frog intro.
so yeah. So the next thing I guess would be I need to get this add and edit,
Right. Roughly the same thing for
which is
a day.
roughly the same thing. Yeah. So I'm going to. I think. I don't know. I think it could be a pretty good stopping point for.
We still got 15 minutes.
We've got
before it's
15
bumping
minutes.
time.
It's true.
You have to. We have to end the stream with
With it
frustration.
broken.
Yeah.
Right?
Do you not have you not paid attention?
Hey, Ryan Hawkins is here, dropping.
I
and
need
saying
you.
Hi.
I need you to start something you can't finish.
Yeah.
It's no fun unless you end in defeat. Did you want to try to? So are we happy with the local state on the day and the new day modal? Clayton was saying instead of the 3 different individual set state functions, were you just saying to update the?
Oh, right. Yeah, no, okay, let's do that. Yeah,
and
that's a good
that's
one.
totally optional. Me personally, I just don't like tracking multiple variables if it's all related data.
Yeah. Yeah, no, let's do that. So adding sort. Okay, so this add day.
No, so long bullion using a map. He's iterating over the records in the array for the days and for the day entries, and so as he was mapping, I was thinking that in that map function, we could sort before that and then map and sort in one place.
Sort and map.
Sort and map.
Map and sort.
Whatever. Yeah, just iterating the JavaScript map to iterate the values in the array and then output the HTML elements.
Yeah, but the second map is actually just generating components, so it's not the same thing as.
It could be. I mean, depending on what you're sorting by.
Yeah.
What did I just blow up?
See, now this is a successful stopping place right here. Everything's broken. Cannot destructure property day of props.
Yeah, what?
New day.
Date would be a new date,
new.
not a new day.
Yeah.
I mean, that's one thing.
That's what it did.
Oh, that was way too easy.
I know, right? Too easy. Okay.
Yeah, and then.
Okay, so then coming down here, this needs to be day dot date, and this needs to be day. And this, instead of being
Well, so you would have.
let's go ahead and do.
Yep.
And then this is going to be what? Set day, right?
Yes, it'd be set day and then open curlies. Yep.
Day.
Mm-hmm.
Comma.
That would be
date.
Oh, yeah.
Date.
Yep.
Or just date.
Technically, this one should work, but the other one is also correct. Doesn't matter.
And then this should be set date.
This is on GitHub, Ryan. 1 second.
Yep.
And then you too can join WSL Hell.
Yeah, if you're just joining in chat, feel free to ask any questions.
You can run it elsewhere.
Oh, fun.
It doesn't need to be here.
Yeah, Ash really enjoyed the. If you're just joining us, he enjoyed the inception of running multiple VS Code instances and multiple instances of this project. Some in Windows, some in WSL, some in Ubuntu, and then figuring out where all that went wrong. This is live coding live stream Wednesday for the Six Figure Developer Channel. Wednesday nights at 8 p.m. Eastern, we work on personal projects. This week we are working on John Ash's LiftFitLog, a fitness tracker in React. The GitHub repo is there in chat. Sometimes we'll work on Clayton's Blazor game engine. And sometimes we will work on Speaker Meet that has a React front end and a .NET 5 back end.
So many bots.
So feel free to check any of those out. We also
Nope.
sometimes work on Triple Derby, a online horse racing game. Happy to have anybody check any of those out. We getting bot rated?
There was just a never-ending stream of surly bots.
Oh, surly bots. Right.
C, yes.
Siete.
And then I have to get rid of this.
That's just your canned response.
It is.
Don't need this anymore.
That is correct.
Oh, broke it. Okay.
Kablooey.
Well, it's because you're referencing something that you've deleted or commented out, one or the other.
And then here, instead of
Start
can
date
just-
is not.
we can just do day, right?
So
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
yes.
Yeah, the Surly Dev is one of our viewers. He has his bots joining us on drop. So when we play the drop game, then you may notice that we have some extra folks jump in on the drop. So the Surly bots is what they've been dubbed.
Yep, and you can delete that. And then just one more to go.
Paste. Delete that. Delete all that. And then use that. Save. And
So here come the Surly bots. I'll go ahead and drop.
yep, there's
And there will be a
another
few.
one. Okay. Yep. So let's refresh these and let's. So if I do one in the future, and then
So for your input, type number instead of text. Yeah, on the weight. And
Yeah,
you can
and
have
then I can get
you can have a min equals 0, and then a max equal 1500 or something. Because honestly,
it's like this.
isn't it, or is it min value?
In val.
Oh no, it's min right there.
Well,
and
that's
then,
it.
yeah.
That's React thing.
Oh,
Like that.
It might be browser specific.
I think it's min
No,
max
it is.
like that.
It is min. Yeah.
Yeah, and then max,
Min,
and you don't have to
value.
set a max, but if you do a min, then as long as the browser is doing what it's supposed to do, they wouldn't be able to type in a negative value. Yeah, so now you won't be able to do ASDF. Boom, just like that. There you
Boom.
go. A little bit of free validation for you.
Nice. Yeah, it's been a while. I just threw those in there as quickly as possible. Okay.
Do you want your notes to be a text area instead of an input?
No, I think we'll just probably do an input for now. But I don't because I'm actually not displaying a lot. We could probably display a text area.
I guess it depends on what the weight of a baby whale is.
Well, and if they're lifting.
Right.
All
Did I
right. So okay, so this
I don't know
is
if I dropped I did not. I'm gonna just miss. That's a shame. Oh, well, no, I think I'm still gonna just miss.
So I guess what we can do for the last 5 minutes here, or the last thing.
Darn
shall
it,
be is-
Ash! We need some frustration.
No
Fail at
problem.
something.
You should at least bring up the browser window to Material UI and see if that's something you want to explore. You've
Okay.
got a browser window open for. I thought you had one open for Final Form.
Let's do a
It does.
create pull request here.
Ooh, can I reject it? Hold on.
You might be able to.
If you're quick enough.
Merge pull request. Confirm.
Too slow.
That should kick off an action here. Come on. Well, the DevOps would fail me. That makes sense.
See, I have a build as part of my PR, and then deploy as part of the merge. Well, you've got another branch out there, pushed 8 minutes ago. I'm so confused.
What did I just do with that PR? I don't know how to GitHub. I don't use GitHub.
Thank
Well,
you. I
look,
think you
there's a
confirmed
closed
it.
one. Open that closed, so you can click on closed. Yeah. It's been merged.
Yeah.
Into master.
Okay. Now actions.
None.
Last
1
month.
minute and 12 seconds. Oh, last month. It
Last
lasted a minute and 12 seconds.
It ran for that. What's the trigger look like? What's the YAML?
Oh, I have it in such a weird spot too.
This might be a good failure.
I think it's because you got those extra spaces between your square braces. That's probably what's going on. Just messing with you. That I don't think it cares.
No, it doesn't.
So it should,
On
Should
push
trigger
on
on
a
a-
branch of master.
as long as this is changing. Which it is.
Oh,
Well, there you go.
can
click
you
on
manually?
that, and yeah, and then see.
I can certainly run workflow.
Yep.
Right, but
I don't know why it didn't trigger. Looked like it should have.
I mean, it triggered last month.
Yep. Which was the last time I committed. Maybe they changed it in between. I don't know. Those are now in progress. Yeah, this is. I mean, this. So, this is frustrating, and I've had this. I've had issues like this. I think this is like the worst of DevOps because I've had inconsistent behavior, even like on Azure pipelines, where you do something and then it doesn't work one time, and
Can I
then
see the
all the rest
YAML
of the times
again?
it works. Yeah, you want the YAML back?
I mean, I guess I could pull down the project and
It's
look.
better if we all
Yeah,
look
that's
at
good.
it.
Yeah.
On push
To
branches.
master. Paths isn't wrong, is it?
I mean, I can comment this stuff out.
So I've got, instead of an array of branches, I have just dash master, but on push. But it's weird. You're doing it on pull request as well?
A pull, pull request to
Of
master?
master?
Or of master.
Yeah, I don't know. I don't.
I think
I
it's
don't. I don't
to
use
master.
I'm not using the paths at all. Which
Yeah,
I think that excludes or includes folders. And
This
files.
includes,
Those files.
yeah,
Okay.
I believe. Again,
the defaults
we could try
run
to look it
working
up again.
directory.
It was a pain in the butt to try to find the documentation for it, but
that's because they don't want you using it.
I mean, it didn't even kick, so I don't know.
I mean, we
looks
could. What we could do
fine
is
to
we
me.
could just get rid of this.
Cam
Right.
says capital F. I don't know what that's. Maybe front ends. I don't know.
And let me
Try indenting the paths.
switch to master. Pull master down. We'll get rid of all that because that should work. This should just work just fine. Because we're doing just a push straight to master.
You should turn that off.
Turn what off?
Pushing straight to master.
Oh no, that's the only way to go.
Yeah, I don't. No, I definitely wouldn't turn pushing straight to master.
I too like to live dangerously.
It's a personal project.
I had one team that every time we pushed to master, it was that we always prepended the message with yeehaw.
No, just absolutely no.
I think the most wrong thing with that sentence was every time. It wasn't like this one time. It was every time.
Well, you got to be consistent. I
There, they
guess.
work
Yeah.
now. So you just
That
need to
worked.
not provide so much information.
Okay,
Less is
so-
more.
No, and if I come here, and we
Oh, you don't have an on merge. You have an on push and an on pull request. You don't have an on merge.
wait. So isn't that? Oh,
But yeah, no,
Man, I don't know.
I only have on push branches master, and
that
I
works.
always do pull requests from another branch into
Yeah.
master, and it
Yeah.
works.
Well, then let's.
I mean,
I think we
I
should
like-
try. I think we should try the previous test with everything commented out, but on another branch, and then merge it into master.
We should try definitely six.
Paths work just fine. Now the whole thing is failing, so that's great.
Good times.
Ship
It's
it.
because you commented out all that stuff.
Yarn build. What is it not like?
FS event is not on the system. It's only on Linux. Ash, I just want to say thank you.
Does that make you feel better?
It does.
All right.
Now we can end the stream and you'll figure it out 2 minutes later.
I will figure it out. Well, that's what happened. So that was the thing is, so I couldn't get the WSL thing working properly last time, and then I spent, I don't know, like until 2 a.m. in the morning immediately after our last stream,
Goodness.
figuring out getting WSL to work and getting the like automatic watching to work and getting the build to work, but now it doesn't work. That makes me sad. It looks like I'm guessing that, yeah.
Do you have an error message? Yeah.
Day
Blind
is
day?
defined but never used. Why does it care?
Bad day.
Bad day.
I guess it's probably a linter thing, probably. There it is.
Yeah. Because you accidentally typed date equals new day or date : new day, and so I guess it imported it.
Oh.
It's like at that point where you just want to be like, well, then just tree shake it and leave me alone.
Boom.
Works fine on my machine.
It did work fine on my machine. Yeah, so there's where that if I would have done a build on the pull request
If that
And
had
then-
worked, yeah.
and then separated out the publish on the merge or on the push, but
Well, I think if you go back to the YAML, you should get on
why
another
did that not
branch.
work?
Because it hasn't had a chance to build yet. You got to give it a second. Or
No,
did
but-
it immediately
no.
fail?
Didn't know it.
Or it didn't run?
It didn't run.
That's because you added those paths. It's running based off of the information from the last that it currently has. It doesn't update the build until after you've already merged. So you're always lagging.
Yeah, that's what it is. You're absolutely.
So I would say get rid of the paths, bring back in the pull request, get on another branch, and try some stuff out.
Yeah, the paths thing was really difficult for me to find, and I'm doing it kind of because I had set this repo up very complicated.
Yes. Bring back pull requests. Just no patches or paths. Yeah.
I can do that later.
You could also do it now.
No, I don't wanna.
You're such a bully. Ah.
Let's see here. Setting.
So Ash, the Long Boolean has a question of how do you store your log entries?
How do I store my log entries?
For your LiftFitLog.
Not.
They're hard coded in the JavaScript.
Yeah, right now it's hard coded in JavaScript and stored in memory until you refresh.
Yes.
So haven't gotten to persistence yet.
Yeah, that's correct. Yep. So we'll get there, and that's I need to. I'll probably need to figure out the rest of these add pieces, and then we'll want to set up that'll be probably the next thing we do is set up a persistence.
Yeah, no worries. Long Boolean's good question, and important to point out for people just catching up or just joining us, and then seeing where we are. Another, focus on the things that we want to accomplish and put off the things that we're not yet ready to tackle. And then Cam says steps hyphen uses colon has different indentation than paths hyphen front end. So there might be a YAML error, perhaps. I think on the commented out stuff at the top.
Yeah. He's saying that your paths weren't indented. Or Cam. I don't know. He, she.
Ooh. Oh, I see. Yeah. I don't know if that.
It's just a difference. So it could be an issue.
Yeah, it could be that's very possible. Yep. All right. So that's there, and now we come here, and now no.
Personally, I think if you had to look real hard for the documentation, they don't want you using it.
Yeah, that's sort of what I felt like, but I nonetheless found it. So.
Yeah,
So it's working now, though.
Yep, it's working now. So we can come to the actual. This is on the GitHub page.
GitHub IO.
GitHub, yeah, IO.
Yep.
And we can add.
Yes, it's stored in a text file, the code text file. Yes.
it's a document database.
Yep, and it's there. We got another one.
Which, when we're ready for data persistence, I kind of like the thought of the first data persistence storage being local, like either a browser database or local storage.
I've not done any of that with GitHub IO, so that'd be fun.
Well, it's all in the browser, so.
Yeah, just dynamically modify the code. I also don't know if they would let you modify the JavaScript for everyone, because it would be local at that point.
Well, yeah. So we did local storage. It would be local for everyone.
You could
yeah.
use a web worker to modify the cached script so that the next time you tried to pull it down, it would pull from the cache and provide you with the modified JavaScript file.
That's
Yep.
an idea. I mean, it's a horrible idea, but it's an idea. Don't do that, please.
All right. I'm pretty happy.
Okay. We are 11 minutes past the hour of pumpkin time. Appreciate everyone hanging out with us tonight. Please do follow along, like, subscribe. If you've got a Amazon Prime account, you can subscribe for free using your Amazon Prime account. We would certainly appreciate that. We will be back on Monday at 6 p.m. Eastern for the live broadcast of the podcast. And next Wednesday at 8 p.m. Eastern for more live coding of personal projects. What do you think next week? Back to Blazor Game Engine and catch up to where you just deleted the code?
We could catch back to where I am.
Perfect. So with that, we will say thanks again, everyone. We will raid our friend over at Jenny Nexus and say goodnight, everybody.
Good night.
See ya.